Life is a gift. It's a precious, beautiful, fragile tangle of where we've been and what we've done. But for many people, there comes a time when this web of thought and memory is damaged. Alzheimer's is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States, but its most devastating effects can't be counted. The disease steals away memories. It turns loved ones into strangers. It makes home unfamiliar and takes away all the things that define an individual.
We'd known about this disease for 100 years, and somehow we had not been able to get our arms around it, figure out what caused it, and certainly not able to stop it.
In the last century, unimaginable breakthroughs have been made in science and medicine by taking risks, funding research, and exploring unexpected territory. Scientists have mapped the human genome, revolutionized surgery, cured polio, and learned how to treat many forms of cancer. Things we couldn't dream of 20 years ago are now possible. But for Alzheimer's, the path forward hasn't been bold enough. Less than 1% of the money spent on Alzheimer's goes towards finding a cure. The rest is used for patient care. In 2012 alone, $200 billion were spent on care for 5.2 million patients. By 2050, that number will rise to $1.1 trillion for 13.2 million patients. And without a cure, the cost of care will fall to our entire community.
We are now at the verge of really understanding the basic causes of Alzheimer's. We have on the docket many potential cures. And so the task really now is to increase the amount of effort going into solving this problem.
There was a confluence of technologies coming to play that could be transformational in terms of genetics understanding of the disease. We have very carefully picked world-class researchers. We have asked them to take on the most important projects.
Cure Alzheimer's Fund makes use of its size, its flexibility, and its focus. What we can bring to the table and contribute to Alzheimer's research is fast, flexible, focused funding, working with the leaders in Alzheimer's research in the whole world. We don't have the scale of the federal government. We don't have the reach of Big Pharma, but we can move very quickly on the best ideas that the best researchers in the world can bring forward and can't get funded anywhere else.
We're happy that our researchers, along with our scientific advisory board, are coming closer to having a consensus view of what the cause of Alzheimer's is.
Our research consortium has developed a roadmap with 4 fundamental planks. Find the genes linked to Alzheimer's. Use the genes to discover how Alzheimer's progresses. Use this understanding to design new treatments. And facilitate drug development.
Now, not just because of us, but because of the field in general, is coming together around a consensus around what causes the disease and how it progresses. This is very, very rewarding. We are very gratified with the contributions that we have been able to make and are making as we move forward.
In recent years, a scientific consensus has started to emerge about how Alzheimer's disease originates and develops in a vicious cycle of A-beta peptide accumulation, nerve cell death, inflammation, followed by even more nerve cell death. Cure Alzheimer's funded research has provided substantial contributions to this understanding, including the identification of key genes and the functions of those genes. There are 3 basic strategies for intervention. Early phase intervention, inhibiting the production of the toxic A-beta peptide and or clearing it from the brain after it forms. Mid-phase intervention that would inhibit the formation of the tau tangles and protect neurons from undue stress. Late-phase intervention that would fight inflammation and thus slow down or even stop the disease process.
Cure Alzheimer's Fund is working at the forefront of science, research, and discovery for Alzheimer's. So if people care, if you care about stopping the disease, we're the people to work with. We're very narrowly focused on stopping the disease and the science. There are a lot of good organizations who are providing support to the caregivers because there's so many caregivers in the world. And we're saying we'd like to do away with the caregivers and go right to stopping the disease.
Going forward, the kinds of projects that the field is going to have to work on are more complex, bigger, longer, and more expensive. Cure Alzheimer's Fund is here to end Alzheimer's disease.